Hey guys, how we doing? Happy Thursday night, happy International Women's Day as well. Shout out to all the girls absolutely crushing it in business, in life, in body and in brain. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. It's a bit of it's a funny title, but it's a very, very deep subject. Just give me a like if you can hear me. Give me some hearts. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know if you got snowed in again today. So, yeah, guys, just let me know what's going on for the minute while we let the audience build up. And then I want to take you through a cool story. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. So, yeah, we'll just let the audience build up and then we'll kick it off. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Kaylee, shout out to Cambridge in the house. Imran down in London. Respect. Nice one, guys. Okay, thank you for jumping on. By the way, I didn't realise that I'm wearing the exact same jumper that is in the graphic that went out. That wasn't planned, by the way, but so on brand at the moment. Maybe it's just the fact that it's like winter when it's actually spring and it's still snowing and freezing cold over here in the UK. So you're coming at me. Well, I'm coming at you, you're coming at me. We're live in the broom cupboard. I actually had to come down to the office today to do some stuff. So I thought I'd do this live. At first it was going to be kind of a chilled out one, just sat there talking to you guys. But then I wanted to talk you through this, which you may have seen before. It's something that I've taken from a book called the Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And it is basically 4 income principles. And I'm going to talk you through them, but I want to take you back to the original title. How an old guy broke my heart. How a 73-year-old man broke my heart. Now, I know some of you are zooming in for like some juicy love story. Well, it's not Jeremy Kyle. It's not Jerry Springer. You ain't going to get that tonight. So if that's why you've jumped on, you're in the wrong place. It isn't about that at all. But what happened was, and I mentioned this on last week's live, is I basically was queuing up at the supermarket and in front of me was an old guy and he was talking to the cashier or the teller, as you guys in the US call them. And he was just like tired, and she said, "You look really tired, are you okay?" And he said, "No, I've just done a 12-hour shift." And she was like, "What? A 12-hour shift? What do you mean?" He says, "Yeah, I work 6 days a week. I'm still working. You know, I've just done a 12-hour shift." And I'm stood behind him, like sort of half listening. I was actually getting some dried coconut stuff. You know, they're really nice, aren't they? Those dried coconuts in the packets. Anyway, I'm getting diverted now. But I was getting some of that. I was like, should I buy 1 packet or should I buy 2? And I'm hearing this guy talking in the background, and I'm like, and she said, "How old are you?" And he was like, 73. So it's just sort of linking in my mind. I'm like, 73, 12-hour shift, 6 days a week. And then he'd gone and he kind of stumbled off and got his ready meal or whatever it was. And I just started to think about it, and I said to the lady behind the till, I said, what was that about? And she said, "Oh, he's working 73. She said, "Hats off to him. I mean, what an incredible work ethic." And I walked away from that. I got in my car and I was just driving off thinking about it. And I thought, you know what? Respect to the guy. Number one, of course, the first thing you think of is respect, right? That was kind of where I was at with it. 6 or 7 years ago, I would have 101% been like, respect, what a legend, still bringing it home for the family at 73 years old, still working. That's what life's about. That's what people should be doing. But now I'm in the entrepreneurial world and this online space. I started then to think, do you know what? Respect for the guy, because he probably doesn't know another way, and that's why we're so lucky, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. But how and why has this situation occurred? Like, how the hell is a guy at 73 still having to work a 12-hour shift and do 6 days a week? What has gone on? And there's no judgment at all with what I'm going to say, and I don't even know the story. I mean, the guy could walk past me tonight and I wouldn't recognise him, but there's obviously other people out there, and there's people that are going to be getting there, and that's the main reason for this live. There's people that are going to be getting there to that situation if they don't wake up and do something about it. So before I go any further, I just want you to share this video with anybody you kind of want to save, you want to help get value from, or wake up. Anybody you want to wake up, anyone you want to say, look, this is the opportunity that's out there. And I'm not going to be talking about specific companies or opportunities tonight. What I'm going to be talking about is how you need to take your own destiny and grab it with both hands and do something with it. Because nobody else is going to change your life unless you decide that you want to do it. So here's the thing, respect to the guy, he's working his butt off still at 73 years old, but how has that happened? What's failed him? Maybe society's failed him a little bit, I don't know. Maybe he's failed himself a little bit, maybe he's made some bad decisions along the way, he's got himself into some financial difficulties, or maybe not. Maybe he absolutely loves working, but listening to him and seeing him waddle off like a broken man just didn't really suggest that he was loving it. You know, it was freezing cold. I mean, that dude should be sat on a beach in Spain with a bottle of Corona and just looking out at the sunset going, yes, I'm here. Like, that's what I see for a 73-year-old guy. Do you know what I mean? Or he's mooching around Las Vegas like bad grandpa. Maybe that's what I'll do when I'm 73. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is why is he in that position? Why is he in that situation? What has happened in his life? What decisions have built up over time that has meant that he still has to work at 73 years old? Maybe he didn't have a mentor. Maybe he's gone through his whole life without anybody really saying to him, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about doing it that way instead of this way? Have you ever thought about reading that book? Have you ever thought about going to that seminar? And we're so blessed, guys, because everything is out there now. You can go on YouTube, you can get this stuff for free. You can go on Facebook, you can find whatever it is, whatever inspiration. Like, we're so lucky that we stumbled across personal development, we stumbled across mindset, the law of attraction, all these things that the 95% don't know about yet. We've got the gift. So, you know, I want to wake you guys up as well that have got the gift, that understand this, to fucking do something with it. Like, do something with it. Don't wait for something to change for you. You need to go and change it yourself. So I look at this guy and I think, maybe it's unfortunate for him. You know, that I'm not a big believer in luck because you make your own luck, but I'm a believer in good fortune, and I'm fortunate enough that I put myself in the right situation, that somebody just mentioned an audio book to me once. Or somebody mentioned, have you Googled this guy, Tony Robbins? And I wanted to change my life, so I went and YouTubed it and got the download or whatever. Maybe that guy never had that opportunity. So for me, I just want to take you through a process from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, because this is about waking you up to what you've got, the opportunity that you've got now. Because the way I like to look at this situation is, this guy never knew what we know now, so we owe it to him and to thousands of other people that are out there to take this opportunity and run with it, to make the most of the opportunity that we've got. So let me just talk you through this. This is what society says we are supposed to do, and this is what we're taught from school. Go to college, get a job, all right? This is the job. And that's fine, by the way. That is totally fine. If you want a job and you love what you do, then I'm delighted for you. Most people call it this, the 40-40-40 law. Work for 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life, and then retire on 40% of the income that you were earning. But think about the old guy who's still 73. So actually the 40-40 law hasn't really worked out for him. The other thing with the 40-40 law is, actually, if you say the average person lives to be 80 years old, you're doing 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life in a job that you may not love, right? So you're spending half your life doing something that you don't really love. For me, that is fucking bullshit. right? Why would you want to spend half of your life doing something that you don't love? Surely you're meant to spend 99.9% of your life doing stuff that you love, doing stuff that you enjoy, doing stuff that lights you up, having fun with it. Not going, you know what, I've got to work 40 hours this week, hating what I do, getting up depressed every single Monday morning, looking at the clock Sunday night, wishing you could pause time. Maybe it's time you go, I want to change something, I want to find something else, I want to find something that lights me up. So this is where we're at with the 40-40 law, and actually the retirement thing is pretty questionable now. The other thing I did a post about the other day was companies that are making loads of redundancies. So they're saying go and get a stable job doesn't really exist anymore. Go and get a stable job. Go and get a normal job. Go and do what everybody else does and work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and then live for the weekend. And if you're totally happy doing that, then I'm delighted for you. I really, really am. You found your passion and you're living it and you're loving it. That's amazing. That's what we're here to do. If you're not, then you need to question what you're doing, because something needs to change. Something needs to change. Maybe it's a thought process. Maybe tonight the penny finally drops and you go, fuck this, I ain't doing it anymore. I've had enough. I cannot do this anymore. So this is the job scenario. Then we look at business owner. Okay, I've been here myself. I had a traditional business. It was high risk. Okay, it was very, very high risk. And to be honest with you, a lot of the time I didn't know what I was doing. I made a lot of mistakes and a lot of expensive mistakes. I wasted a lot of time. I got advice from the wrong advice from the wrong people, and I made a lot of mistakes. So this thing, if it's done wrong, can end up as a complete disaster, right? So it's high risk, and I would say the reward is questionable. Although the stats are this, 95% of businesses fail within 5 years. All right? 95% of businesses fail within 5 years. Why? Because people don't know what they're doing. They've got an idea, but they've no system, they've no mentor, they've no community, they've no one to be a part of, they've no one to reach out for advice. They're asking, Dave, who's been unemployed most of the time, for advice on how to run the business, like the guy in the pub. Everyone's got an opinion on how you could do this, how you should do this. Everyone's giving you their opinions, but no one's ever done it themselves. No one's walking the talk. People start their own businesses just because they think they've got a good idea. Watch Shark Tank, Dragon's Den. The amount of people that get laughed out of there because they've just come in with an idea and no business. It's unbelievable. So you can see why so many people struggle. And then obviously there's a lot of stress that goes with that. There's a lot of financial pressure. And it starts to destroy lives because there's so much stress. The next thing is investments. All right, this is another way that people look at it. You've got stocks, shares, all that kind of stuff, property. You know what? If you know what you're doing, then hats off to you. If you know what you're doing, then you're going to be successful with it. I know quite a few people that are really, really successful with stocks and the property market. The one thing that you need is capital. All right, the one thing that you're going to need is some money to start with. I never had that. When I became an entrepreneur, I never had any money to start with. All I had was ambition, work ethic, and time. That's all I had. I didn't have 20 grand in the bank to invest in stocks and shares. I didn't have 5 grand in the bank to, put a deposit down on a house, or wouldn't even get a bathroom for 5 grand now, right? But back then, I didn't have any of that stuff. So the only option that I had, and you can buy it, and you're kind of treading in that zone there, where it's still high risk and the reward is very, very questionable. Here's why we're so lucky, because the old guy, going back to the 73-year-old guy, is probably either stuck with this. He's probably just stuck with a job throughout his life, and he's probably done a few things, and some things he probably loved more than others. But he may have tried a business, and it failed. The traditional business, he may have tried a business and it failed, so he ended up having to go back and get a job. He may have earned a bit of money over his time and saved up and been quite frugal and invested his money into investments and stocks and properties, and maybe that backfired, so he's ended up having to go back and get a job. That's why he's working at 73 years old. So I always try and look at situations, I'm like, how can I learn from it? How can I almost prevent myself from falling into those pitfalls? Because a lot of people have walked this journey before us. A lot of people have left the blueprint there and gone, don't go that way because you're going to fall down a hole. Go that way and navigate around it and do this and do that and do this. And if you do that, you'll have a stress-free, fun, fulfilling life. But some people make loads of mistakes and they never ever learn from them. What I've realised after that situation was how lucky we are, how totally blessed we are to have what we've got. And it's this: a social network business. Social network business. Like social networks, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's the way everything is being built now. Everybody is on there. Social media is the new television. It really is. So you can monetize that. You can build a business from that in any area that you want. Whether you want to start your own t-shirt business, whether you want to join a network marketing company, whether you want to become an affiliate ambassador for a product or service, you can do that all online. The risk is pretty much zero. All I said before was this: all you really need is ambition, time, and a work ethic. Ambition, time, and a work ethic to build a business, whether it's network marketing, online, or setting up your own. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's online, it works pretty much. You know, if you get the business model right and structured right, everything online, that's the way the world's going at the minute. You know, I got something the other day, razor blades online now. People, I mean, clearly I don't use it, but this thing came through the door and it was like, so people are now mail ordering razor blades. Like, no one would have believed that 10 years ago, or even probably 5 years ago. And you might be thinking, oh, well, what's the market on that? Well, they even had razor blades for girls because, you know, girls want to shave the legs. You don't want to be that girl, right? So it works both ways, guys, and that's just razor blades. And then you've got fruit and vegetables getting delivered to people's door on auto ship, like the groceries. People are ordering the shopping online now, getting delivered to the door. Fashion labels, the high street is shutting down, or it's shrinking. Maybe it's not totally shutting down, but it's shrinking because there's still an experience there of going out, having a coffee, window shopping, you know, buying stuff. People still like to try things on, but it's 100% shrinking. It's definitely shrinking, and everything now, if it's not totally online, there's an online section to it. There's an online platform. Look at Blockbuster. Netflix killed it, right? No one's getting DVDs anymore. It's all Netflix or other subscription things. So what you've got to look at is this, but then you add the beautiful thing which Jim Rohn talks about all the time, which is actually these two, if you look at it right, and you call it the magic of part-time. All right, the magic of part-time. This is where it's at, because you keep your job and you do the job that you're not really in love with, but it's just a stopgap for the time being. So you keep the pressure off, you pay the bills, you keep yourself, your head above water, and in your spare time, in the magic of part-time, you are building your social network related business. Rather than watching TV, rather than watching box sets, rather than watching football every single night of the week, rather than messing around on Facebook and watching YouTube videos of people scaring the mum. Like, I mean, it was funny the first time, but come on, right? And they keep doing it over and over again, and then before you know it, you've gone from watching someone scaring their own mum to someone, you know, throwing eggs at people. Then there's a giraffe giving birth. There's a frog raping, getting raped by a monkey in a zoo that people are filming. It's like, before you know it, you've watched like 6 videos on YouTube and you've lost an hour of your time. Completely gone. So if you understand the magic of part-time, you can actually save yourself and take the lesson that the 73-year-old guy has given me, which I've now shared with you, and you'll be able to notice it when you're out there. You know, just be observant of these things. Look at people that are still working and think, should they, unless they really want to, should they really have to be doing that? Because they didn't get the gift that we got. Who knows somebody that's waiting for things to happen? Still waiting now. Still waiting 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later. Still waiting for somebody to change their life. That friend that you know that is always talking about doing something. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They're always thinking about it, they're always talking about it, but they never, ever do it. Those are the people that will be in the supermarket in 30, 40, 50, 60 years' time, still working a 40, 40, 40. So guys, I just want to wrap it up really. Please, 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 take action. Take advantage of the situation that we're in right now. There's never been a better time to build a business online. Do something with this gift that we've been given. Learn the lessons of people that have been before us and just go for it. Give it everything you've got. Honestly, the beautiful thing is you have nothing to lose because all this stuff is risk-free. The only thing you're going to have to do is put your time in. You can sit at home and build it from the sofa. And you're never going to get tired thumbs. Honestly, I've been doing this business 7.5 years now. And I have never had to stop because my thumbs got tired, right? Seriously. So please take advantage, guys. I just want to shout out all the dream chasers as well. Big love to you guys. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thanks for checking out this live. Share it with anybody that you think needs to see this. Just make them watch it. Even fast forward the bit that maybe it doesn't relate to them and get them to see this. Because this is how important it is. You might just change someone's life tonight, guys. Thank you. See you later.